Hey guys, thanks for hopping on the live stream today. Let me know if you can hear me good, see me good. We'll get started in just a couple minutes. I threw a survey in the comments. Let me know what you think. So much better. Well, happy whatever day this is, wherever you're in the world. I think it's Tuesday here. It's Christmas break for me, so I kind of lost track. But I'm happy to get on here and do a live stream with you guys. And I hope that this Christmas season is treating you well. Merry Christmas to you, all of my fellow worship and tech friends. 'Tis the season for long hours and what I like to call joyful exhaustion. Because at the end of the day, after we get done with all these things, I hope that's how you feel. You feel joy from getting to serve the Lord this way, and you feel exhausted because you've given it your everything. So thanks for hopping on the live stream. So many of you guys jumping in the chat today. And I love Dustin Thompson, one of my buds. He says, best entertainment on a Tuesday afternoon possible. That's sad if that's really how you feel, Dustin. Well, today we are back with another live stream. It's been about a month because, you know, it's been Christmas. So I've had lots of other things I had to do. And I've got videos coming about some of these different things we've done in the last month. But I wanted to hop on. We've got like 50-something submissions to the live stream review deal that we're going to dive into today. I've got an hour and a half, 2 hours that I can do this before I hop on a call with somebody that is going to be a cool video that you're going to want to watch in January when that comes out. But today's setup I'm a lot more comfortable with. If you watched the last live stream, we tried it with the YOLO Box Pro, and I just did not have a great time with it, and I think you were witnessing that. So today's setup is the ATEM Mini Extreme. Back to that. I've got the AKG 2020, I think is what it is. Is that what it is, or an Audio Technica? I don't remember. One of those. I think it's Audio Technica, actually. Going into a Tascam DR something or other, 70D maybe. It's really old with my big red button on it that I'm going to have to hit real quick because Elijah Kidd in the chat with the super chat. That's what happens if you super chat. We get to hit the red button, and Elijah will be put to the top of the list for the live stream review. So thanks, Elijah. I really appreciate that. So that's how audio is going in, and then it's going 1/8 inch into the mic jack of this, delayed 2 frames to match with my video that's hopefully matching. This video you're seeing is a GH4 with the Metabone speed booster and the Sigma 18-35 f1.8. And this camera is the, let me get rid of that, is the Canon RP with the 85mm f1.8. So different brands, but they match okay, you know. I don't have all the profiles dialed in exactly. It's just white balance to the same and try to get exposure the same. So how you're seeing these comments, I'm controlling that with this iPad over the network using H2R graphics. So that's how that's all set up. And then the most important element is my sweet tea from Cains. You guys got Raising Cains? Are you Cains fans? I like it too much. Maybe you have to adjust that in the new year. Oh, Dustin says, loved your new music video. It was awesome. If you guys follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you know, one of my other things that I do is I side hustle videographer, and I've done that for years and years. A buddy of mine recorded some music with me right over there in that closet, and we made a music video. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was just me and him and a bunch of cameras. And so you can follow me on those socials. It's just all Ryland Russell. But yeah, drop any comments and questions you have. I hope you guys are having a Merry Christmas. On that that poll, it looks like 61% of us are not having Christmas Day services, but yes, we are having Christmas Eve services. And only 7% are not having either. So, you know, that was only 13 votes. So chime in the comments if you know, what your church is doing. But for us, what we've done is we actually had a giant Christmas thing 2 weekends ago. And so we do that in early December, and that's our giant production that we try to invite the community to and really do a lot of things to get people that haven't darkened the door of a church inside of our walls purposefully. And so we do that. We go all out for that. And then Christmas Eve, historically, and we're doing it again this year, we just scale it way down. Like, we do very just family friendly. It's a 35 minute service, sing some carols, maybe one little special music type element to start the service with, or a video, and do the candlelight stuff. And our pastor usually reads some kind of Christmas story to the kids and gives them a little treat or something. But it's very chill and it's a lot of fun. So let's see what's going on in the comments today. I did pin a question here from Ghost Gaming that we can talk about. Do you recommend a side stage camera? So I love a side stage camera. We have one definitely now that's a roaming side stage camera. They're usually getting those shots that are kind of like down the line, down the perspective of your people on their front line. And I like that because so often, you know, most of our cameras are set up just as it's like this is straight on shots, or maybe off at a 45. And that just gets you more perspective and can get some cool shots. As far as what camera to use for that, we use a GH5 just handheld usually with a 35-100 stabilized f2.8 lens. And our guys really like it. You can punch in, get really close shots. You can get, that 35 is really like a 70 full frame. So, you know, but that's what we like. David, he says, I heard from people in this chat that they were planning to do online only Christmas Day. Suggested it to our church leadership, who loved the idea. Thanks. So yeah, on a previous live stream, you guys, that's what we talked about doing. And yes, that I did. I sold our leadership on that. It wasn't hard, honestly. We are broadcasting for the first time. We did not live stream our big church or our big Christmas at Central event, a production. So on Christmas Day at 10 a.m., that will be our church service. We recorded some other segments, like to kind of make it make sense a little more and cut out some certain things, and which I'm still editing down. You know, everybody else is off this week, but I'm not. I mean, I'm technically off, but you guys know how that is. Christmas Eve services and Got to get everything. We're going to send that probably through Restream, just like upload it as a Premiere and Restream, so that way it does hit Facebook and YouTube. Are you guys still using the Premiere functions? I think Facebook maybe got rid of the Premiere function. We haven't done it in so long. It used to give us problems when we were doing it during COVID, which has been years now. So do they still have that? I know YouTube, you can Premiere it, but because I was just going to upload it to both, but Restream can do that too. I've just never done it, but I don't know. Let me look at you guys' chat and make sure I'm not missing anything. Love the Cains drink cup. Oh, yes. And, you know, it's a nod to Christmas Vacation, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. Some people talking about what they're doing on that Christmas Day stuff. Zaxbys, no. Zaxbys does not compare. Don't even go there with Zaxbys. Zaxbys is a joke. Like, their chicken and their sauce does not compare to Cain's sauce. If you want to get me started, let's talk about fried chicken places, because we've got about 13 in here in a while, so and I frequent them. Cain's is head and shoulders above them. Zaxby's, maybe the only thing they do have is, you know, they do offer some like salads and stuff like that, which can be pretty tasty. Where Cain's it's a one hit wonder kind of place. So yeah, that's not I'm not jiving with that one. Awesome. Well, cool. It looks like everybody's busy and we're doing all kinds of things. Yes, okay. Thanks, Elijah. Facebook will be depreciated on August 22nd, 2022. Yeah, they got rid of the Premiere. So I probably will just go through Restream. The way I view this is like I have a big TV right here. So if I'm looking here, and then I have my camera right in front of the TV, so it's kind of like this giant teleprompter, so I can actually see the program and kind of look at you guys in the camera. But right now I have this one's a little lower, so I don't know. Hopefully, I just by default look at the screen, but I'll try to look at you guys whenever I come to this camera. Oh, let's see. I had a bunch of stuff I was going to talk about as we get started and let people get on here. 2023. 2023 is going to be a big year for us here at Central. It will be my 13-year anniversary, which is crazy to think about. Time sure flies. And I love it here. We are making some big changes, though, starting January 8th. We are moving to 2 identical modern services where historically, since we moved into this building in 2004, we have had an 8:15 traditional service that I've been the leader of that as the worship pastor. And then Sunday school at 9:30. And then at 10:45, we have our modern service, which is the only one that you guys really ever see unless you watch the vlogs. So we've just reached the point in our church life and needing to move forward that that second service has really grown. We feel like God's leading us to move to 2 identical modern services. And so that means schedule changes. That means small group changes. We're moving to 9:30 and 11 with 3 different small group hours throughout the morning. So that means my teams are having to now add another service, and we're not going to live stream that first service. So that's a lot of big changes that are happening, and I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be a great thing for our church. Will it be without growing pains? No, it won't. We've already had some of those, but you know, I don't want to go too far into it right now during this live stream. That's not what this is for, but I'll be sharing more about that journey. Like, that's what this channel is really for, is to help, you know, guys like me out that are out there doing this kind of stuff. And, you know, the slogan in my little channel banner says documenting my worship ministry journey. And so I want to document this process, and how can we, in the most healthy way, pastor our people through change. It's not easy. It will make my job harder, honestly. But what I realized was I used to think that we were really doing a service to the people that came to that early service, like really serving them. But all it really has done has kind of divided our church. Those people come early, They come down to their wing and go to their small group hour, and they never see anything else happening in our church. They are a church on their own almost. And so we've had one baptism in that service in 13 years that I can recall. They never get to witness baptism. They don't get to witness baby dedications, all the things of the life of your church, you know? And so I'm excited for everybody just to kind of link arms and be a little more unified as we go forward together. And I'm sure as the worship pastor, I will be, having to navigate a lot of tension and things like that. But honestly, this church it's been amazing and filled with great people. So that is a big step. Will I be streaming both services in 2023? No. So all of our cameramen and our stream director will not come to the first service. We still will only be doing second service. Do you guys stream multiple services? Do you see a benefit there? I think maybe if it was on a different day, but since they're like back to back, I don't know that I don't know that it would be a giant benefit. So I don't know. That's something to think through though. I'm having to think through things like even just like planning center. Like I've always had my services split apart, and now it's like, do I just do one service and have multiple times and with my teams and scheduling them and things like that? So yeah, so some people stream both services. I don't know. So that's a big change. Other changes that have been happening around here, a big one tech-wise, is that we recently installed an ATEM 2ME constellation, and it's been great. I mean, it was a little bit of a transition trying to get everything from HDMI to SDI that we had on those two Studio HDs. But my plan is to try and sell those two Studio HDs for maybe $500 a piece and kind of offset the cost. I think it was like $1,700 for the Constellation 2ME. But that has allowed us, I think we are running 13 cameras now. I mean, I have some other cameras just laying around that we weren't using. And just having more of those static shots that are close in on instrumentalists and stuff that we can quickly go to is nice. I mean, it's way overkill, honestly, but we still are just running two cameramen. But that was a big change that we did for our Christmas production, and it's been really good. We are controlling everything with a Stream Deck XL, which has been cool too, to set that up and kind of play around with the Stream Deck more. And our tech director really owned that and kind of set that up himself after we figured out how to do it all. And that's been really cool. So if you guys run the Stream Deck and you have any other great tips for controlling things with it, we run a small mini one up front by ProPresenter, and then this XL now back at our Stream Director position. So I do want to just give a shout out here to Cameron Thompson, the $10 super chat. Thanks, man. Cameron, hopefully you submitted a live stream that we'll be getting to here in just a minute, and I can put you there on the list. I think you're third on the list. I've got one we're going to start with that I was supposed to get to last time that I didn't, and then we got Elijah, and then Cameron, and some others that you've been seeing in the comments, a little secret passphrase. So I'll try to make sure I not miss those. If you're not subscribed to the email list, you can do that. That's where that goes out, and you can maybe move to the front of the class. Other news. How about ProPresenter 7.11? How are you guys feeling about that one? We have not moved to it yet, as I did some, I'd always do the beta testing stuff with them on this MacBook right here, and it seems to, work okay. There was some stuff that I didn't love that wasn't working quite right, and with our big Christmas stuff, I was just like, we're just going to stick on whatever we were on, 7.10.3, I think. But in the new year, I'm excited about trying some of those background effects. If you stream from within ProPresenter, I think this could be a really cool update for you, because you can do some different effects with like lyrics and lyric overlays for your online stuff that actually will work Now, it won't work for me because the way we do everything is hitting the ATEM, then a web presenter. So it doesn't do it with key and fill. It only does it if you're streaming from within Pro. So I don't know if you guys have tried the new Pro, but it looks interesting. Looks pretty cool. I think that hopefully after a couple more little things they iron out, it'll be really good to go. But yeah, I think don't update before your big Christmas thing, right? Don't do that. Oh. Ghost Gaming. Will you give your YouTube fam any deals on the TV studios? Okay, so you're wanting, I told them I'm selling these TV studios, and this is something I'd love your help with figuring out. I recently sold that YOLO box that I had. Well, selling that kind of stuff locally is really hit and miss around here. We don't have, we have a lot of churches, but selling things locally is easy. They can just bring me a check or cash, and I can document it and go straight into my church account here. It's kind of how I offset the buying of other new stuff, right? With that designated account. What I'm trying to figure out is how do you sell online and avoid getting 1099s from eBay and from Facebook Marketplace? Because now anything over $600, I think in the last year they changed the policy that I'm going to get a 1099 if I sell those ATEMs, if I sell this Teradek Spark back here that I'm going to sell, other things that I've got. And so some people are like, well, just at the end of the year, you'll get a charitable contribution thing from your church if you just, do it that way. The problem is I don't make enough money for my charitable contributions to ever actually matter because I have 3 kids. And so the standard deduction is more than any of that. Plus it kind of feels not right. It's not a charitable thing. It's the church's money. It's their thing I'm selling. And I know eBay has a charity sellers thing that we're kind of looking into. I don't know. I think Reverb maybe is a little different. Does your church have its own PayPal account set up and go straight to your church bank account? To me, that would kind of be the easiest thing. And as of now, I could sell something for $1,000 and tell my financial person yeah, I actually sold it for $800 and just keep $200. If I was a horrible person, I could do that. You could get away with it. And I want to avoid that kind of any chance for someone to think that I did something wrong to go away. So how do you guys do it whenever you sell things online that are bigger ticket items? They're looking into this, and then there's tax laws and things that they're concerned about. And, I don't know. Caleb says we hand down to other smaller local ministries. Yeah, you can donate things for sure. But what I'm trying to do, I think if things are more towards their end of life, yes, you might look into donating. But for my ministry, my budget's not big enough for me to just donate stuff that I bought 2 years ago and now I'm upgrading. I'm more on that path of for certain things, I'm thinking more let's sell the gear before it's totally lost all its value. Then we can put that towards buying the nicer gear. Even with these cameras that I'm using, I'm thinking through upgrade paths and okay, should I be selling this GH5 to get the GH6? Probably not, because it doesn't offer that many benefits. But with the ATEMs, it made more sense because as of now, those smaller ATEMs are still decently valuable. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a little weird thing that I hadn't thought through yet. So let me know if you have any solutions to that. One more thing, and then we'll start the live stream reviews. Just stuff that I'm excited about for 2023 of kind of learning more about. And I'm curious what you guys, what is something that's on your radar that you think I need to kind of get better at this, or I'm just interested in implementing this in our church. For me, there's a few things that I've written down. The first one is NDI video. You see this all the time, people talking about NDI and using it in your church, on your, a private network or whatever it may be. I just really don't know that much about NDI. Besides, my only experience is like sending an NDI feed out of ProPresenter to OBS or something like that to get your lyrics over there. We don't use any NDI. In my mind, it just wasn't super like rock solid, and so I just wasn't sure about using it. But I want to learn more about it. It seems like it is becoming like more standardized technology. Do you guys use NDI? How do you feel about it? I don't know, like the giant benefits of it for us, like in our live stream environment, but maybe there is. Maybe there's a lot more than I realize. So I don't know. Another thing that I'm interested in learning more about, which is huge, is Dante audio. I don't really know anything about Dante. We've never had to use it here. And I think that it's just super powerful. And from what I can understand, it's super flexible, you know, routing audio through your building and different things like that. And we've got some big plans here at our church in the next couple of years for renovations and building projects. And I want to be able to understand, you know, how to best implement these things. Not that I won't work with an integrator who knows more about this stuff than I do, but I want to learn more about Dante. And then the last thing that I kind of want to delve into a little bit is possibly using QLab, an app called QLab, to maybe do some more of our bigger automated things that we're utilizing ProPresenter to send MIDI to do things right now. We used Pro 7 again for our Christmas Spectacular, and it was sending MIDI notes that were triggered on the timeline. And there were just a couple times where it missed cues. It just skipped over them for whatever reason. Back in Pro 6, it never did that. Like, I could count on it. But for some reason in Pro 7, it just, when they're really close together, sometimes it doesn't hit them. And, you know, I think I'm maybe trying to ask too much of Pro 7 when it comes to that. So QLab combined with Ableton maybe, or something for those bigger automated type projects. Let's look and see what you guys are thinking. Yeah. NDI scares me. I think it does seem scary, but it is over the network, but it's just, I don't know. Okay, yeah, using NDI to send ProPresenter to Ecamm. Yep. I'd rather run SDI, me too. Okay, so Elijah has a private network for just their PTZ cameras that you're going to add NDI to. So let us know how that works in the future. We run all SDI. We use NDI to transmit two things: presentation slides over to streaming software and the final program feed out over the network. It's picked up on a couple other computers, works well for us. Okay. Okay. We used Dante at a previous church. We had issues here and there, but I think that could have been tech crew error, possibly. Always, yeah. It's usually something we've done wrong. Okay, they use NDI for their stage TV and ProPresenter PC for the projectors. Okay. Daniel says they've been using it reliably for over a year, multiple cameras and feeds. Need dedicated subnetwork with speedy switches and NICs. Okay. Yeah, that's what I've heard for sure, is that, you know, you need gigabit switches for sure, private stuff that's nothing else is being shared with it. Noah says, I don't see much benefit to NDI over SDI, except in certain edge cases where it's easier. Okay, yeah. We use the same network for NDI and stuff, but have different VLANs for things. Okay. Yeah. Justin says 2023 will hopefully be our venture into more camera views and better audio quality for the live stream. We have 2 HDMI wired camera views now. Also wanting to add tracks to our music. Okay. And Jared about QLab says, we used QLab in a theater that I was a part of. Really powerful automation. Considered getting it for our church, but our church doesn't have the budget. And I guess Samuel's saying maybe NDI adds delay, so don't use it for iMag. And Jake talking about Dante seems like a good ubiquitous go-between for getting different systems connected. Yeah, I mean, Dante's great for that kind of stuff. Any of you guys use QSys? I've been really impressed with some of my friends that are using QSys to do a ton of stuff at their churches, and it's that kind of networky base type thing as well. So yeah, here was one question that we're going to go into, and I promise we're going to jump into live stream reviews in just a second. Hope you guys are enjoying just chatting. It's been a while. Ghost Gaming, how can I convince my staff, elders, and worship leader to use tracks? So how can you convince your staff, your elders, and your worship leader to use tracks? Well, that's a large ask if you literally have to convince all of those people. I would hope that your church is set up in a way where your whoever your leadership is that's staffing your church, hopefully they're empowering your worship pastor to make these decisions. If I had to go to my deacon body and try to explain to them tracks, like I probably would leave the church. So, but maybe you're just saying, like, maybe they're worried that it's going to feel, maybe you're very like spirit led and they're like, we don't want to lose that or whatever. Well, hopefully you're well versed in using tracks and can understand all the different ways you can do tracks and how far they've come from back in the day. Whenever, when I first started, it was just a loop and you just tried to play along. And how flexible they can be if you have somebody that's good at it. But I would say the way to sell somebody on anything is, talk to them about whatever the problem is that these would solve. Maybe that is that your band's having trouble staying together and you want to just start with a click track. Maybe it's that, you don't have a giant band and volunteer base for that. This can help supplement and do some of the extra work that you can't fill with your band. But, selling someone on the value of something is talking about why it's valuable. And so I don't know, that may be an uphill battle if you have to convince all three of those people. And you don't have to, like, tracks are not the end of the world if you don't use them. But I love tracks. We use them on everything. I think there's no flexibility in the moments. Here's my answer to no flexibility in the moments. If you watch any of these spirit-led churches, Bethel, Inium, that do more like prophetic moments or whatever, 90-something% of the time, it seems to me like they're doing a song, and then after that song is over, they have space to do whatever they want and go back and repeat or whatever. And with Prime, with playback, all these, even like it can extend the click track out so that way everybody can stay together still, but there's no actual like structure to the song in the moment. And so, yeah, I would talk to them about that. Like, unless you literally are just flowing all the time, like, yeah. Please don't use lead solo tracks without a lead solo instrument. Yeah, I love that whenever there's like a piano leading a song, there's like no one even up there with a piano. The best experience I had with that, one of my best friends, amazing guitarist, was playing at a church that I won't name. And they were doing Lincoln Brewster's Let the Praises Ring that Sunday. And it was his last Sunday there before he was going to another church. And Let the Praises Ring has this crazy, like, Irish sounding solo. And he had learned it all. He was going to play. He was playing lead. Well, he shows up and the worship pastor was like, "Hey, by the way, we got that in the tracks. So you don't have to worry about it. Like, you don't have to nail it. Just turn down and act like you're playing." So he literally on the last service acted like he was playing the solo with his tongue on his guitar. And then he said he had people come up to him afterwards and they're like, "That was amazing," and that's, you feel a little bad about that, but definitely don't do that. And maybe this is a video topic I can talk about in the new year is implementing tracks. There's lots of people that have talked about it and resources out there, but it's hard for me because literally I've used tracks for probably it's 2022. 21, 20, 22 years or so. So it's just not even like a conversation I have to really worry about. Yeah. All right. Well, guys, let's jump into some live stream reviews. And if you haven't submitted yours and you really just want to get in on the conversation, you can submit. There is a form, a link to a form in the description of this video. If you're watching this after the fact, that form will be closed down until a little bit later into 2023 once we get going. And every submission that's happened this year, unfortunately, I'm going to have to clear those out, and we're just going to start fresh in 2023. So I will send out an email whenever it's about a week before the next live stream review, and then people can start submitting at that point. But like I said, I've got like 50 something, 60 in there, I think, that I'll never get to all these. So we're going to have to start fresh in the new year. If you would like to jump to the front of the line, there are two ways to do that. One, only email subscribers know about. Two is this little magic red button that two people have already allowed me to hit by doing those super chats. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's jump into some live stream reviews. Today, we're going to start off with my church and how this last Sunday went. It was our first Sunday with a full band after our giant Christmas spectacular. I literally recalled the scene on our M32 from, when it was saved beforehand. Didn't even listen to anything. So this is just whatever that mix that I've got set up on Matrix's going on is. And I think we had two cameramen. So let's pull it up and I'll tell you what I think. This is just, I pulled up in the middle of the service, just kind of wherever we were at.
This is his heart.
That's our gimbal shot.
And from his wounds his mercies flowing. And now the dawn put death to death. And ever since that grave.
One thing I want to try and figure out going forward is, that's another shot we changed just because we have a tight shot now on her. I want to move that back a little bit. Love this gimbal shot. This is one of our 17-year-old teenagers that's running this. All of my cameramen are pretty much young men in the youth group. That is a Zcam E1 that I got for about 150 bucks with a 35mm cheap lens off Amazon. That's a GH5 35-100 on a monopod for our side stage cam. One thing I do want to work on though is I may just give up on panning my vocalist, because right now you can hear she's leading now, but she was panned a little bit to the left. I love those gimbal shots. Those hits are to MIDI, I think. Yeah. So those are getting triggered from Pro 7 over to Jans Vista for those hits. Very simple thing. Of course, she walked backwards. Our zoomy zoom cam over there in the corner, it wouldn't connect over Bluetooth, so we've been having issues with that. The one that just zooms back and forth in and out. So it just locked it off on a tighter shot there on the corner. But yeah, so I have two cameramen, a bunch of other cameras, stuff on sliders. I need to update maybe our camera video that since these changes have been made since we moved to the ATEM 2ME. But yeah, my tech director was directing. Here's one of those slider shots up front you've seen before. Trying to fill the background with the projector. That one's on a slider. Actually, I got that slider for 150. It's a newer slider. It's not as good off Facebook Marketplace. So now we have 3 sliders. I may buy another one actually. Yeah, John, I don't, my audio guys are not, I'm not gonna have them do panning changes. I'm letting them just focus on mixing for the room. And so our room is mono. So it's a little, you have to go into the home screen, go over to sends, and then pan between the sends. Like, it's not super easy, but I could see maybe automating that with like a MIDI note from ProPresenter, doing those changes. But I may just give up on panning the vocalist, though. There's just 3 of us. Like, it's not that earth-shattering to have it be panned. I don't know. Okay, and then we went into King of Kings. So Son of Heaven was kind of a Christmas-ish song, and King of Kings is also kind of a Christmas-ish song. But yeah, it went great. Zoomy Cam, is there a way to do that with a camcorder? I don't know. You know, with the LANC controller, like if you can automate looping back and forth, that would be great. I've never had to look into that, so I'm not sure. Do you guys know of a way just to like automate constant slow zoom in and out on a camcorder? Samuel's asking about that PD Live Air 2 that I have that you can do the zooming in and out. You technically could just use the focus instead of zoom in the app if they're saying that it doesn't do zoom anymore. When I bought the focus one first, and then I was like, oh no, they have a zoom one. I should probably do the zoom one. We never use the zoom controller that comes with it, and it's literally the same motor. So you could just throw that on the zoom side of your lens and program it that way if you wanted to do it with zoom. Just watch that video if you were wondering about that, because there are other things you need to think through if you're wanting to do that auto zoom in and out. You know, like we don't have a parfocal lens on there, and the steps between the different focal lengths need to be pretty even on your lens of choice. So it's great when it works, and usually it does, but we've just been having some issues with it. Are all your close stage cameras wireless? So we have 2 wireless units that we're using for our manned cameras. So one of those, they're both Teradek Ace 500s now. I picked up an Ace 500. The Teradek Spark 4K and the Ace 500, they just weren't playing nice together. Used on their own, they're both super rock solid, but then for whatever reason, the chips in them don't like each other. And so, at least in our space. But I went ahead and got another Ace 500 since we're moving to 2 services, even though I'm not going to have cameramen for both services. I just realized I didn't need to do that, but whatever. I like it better. And they work great. And so one guy is more kind of up towards the stage area, getting those tight shots on a monopod usually, or just handheld. And those are wireless now. We used to not be. We were just tethered with a long HDMI cord for a couple of years, and it was fine. And then the other guy is on the gimbal, and that's got a Ace 500 on it as well. And then we do have a wireless on the cable cam, but that gimbal has been kind of being finicky lately, and like you could see maybe the tilt axis gets off a little bit over time. You know, you add all this stuff in, it's just more stuff that can go wrong, but but it's great when it works. Oh. All right, so yeah, I was happy with our stream. We're just always tweaking stuff, always making it hopefully better is the goal. So let's move along as we go into some other live stream reviews here. And our first one is going to be from Jake Weens, I think, or Wyans, from the Gathering Church. So Jake, if you're in the chat, holler at us, let us know that you're there. They're using the trusty old DVX200 that I think that I kind of brought light to in our spaces. Maybe you had them long before I did. I don't know. We still like ours. 3 of which are completely wireless, and the other 2 are on tripods. They've got the TV Studio and the Hollyland Cosmos C1 wireless transmitters are what they're using for their DVX200s, which is interesting because those Hollylands, whenever I tested them, had a lot of latency. So I'm curious, between the wired DVX200s and these that are on the Hollylands, you know, how will they match up? Is there going to be noticeable latency? They want the most help on directing. Let's go full screen with it. All right, volume up. E-Church is they're gonna flag me. They may shut this thing down if I turn it up. We're in HD. I like those lower thirds. Slow pull out. Great vocal. Oh man, taskbar. Sorry. Vocal's great. Is that a little sibilant, like on those top S's? I feel like. Scroll. Suffer. Oh, the beams look great. Let's go. Love the tight shot. Up to the face. Chad Vegas would be very proud of you. You went to the hands to the face. If you ever watch his streams. Hey, that's a plug. Check out Chad Vegas's channel. You know, he's a video director, former Bethel. Now he's at Transformation Church. He does these as well. A little out of focus there on this one. Are you using autofocus? A little abrupt there. Love between the crowd shot like that. Woo! Let's go. Love the lighting design on this one. So, okay, this is where it is a little odd to me. And maybe you guys that do this can explain that to me. I don't like when you have iMag in the room and it's the same cut for online, because I feel like then it's weird to do these kinds of shots for the people in the audience. Like this guy with the sunglasses on his head. Do you not think he's like looking at the screen like, oh, that's my noggin right there? So you're doing this slow push in, and it feels weird to do these wider shots. And so I almost like, it feels like you got to have a different cut if you really want to be able to utilize a lot of this stuff, unless maybe people are just used to it. I've never been at a church where we did iMag. So, you know, I probably am not the best person to evaluate those things. Yeah. Let's just watch a little bit more here. I like the slow push-ins. I like that reverse shot. That's great. The DVX 200s look really good. Obviously, they're matched really well. I'm curious about the focus stuff. See what I'm saying here? Like, it's the same thing that's on the screen. A little weird to me. No, hold on. Watch now. Watch his mouth. Now, there is a 2-frame delay that I'm adding onto this, but it shouldn't be this bad. Watch him, his vocal. That's pretty far behind, and I think it's those Hollylands. Because for me, it was like 120 milliseconds. You guys noticing that? I like the quick zoom-ins and stuff that you can do with that, though, with camcorders. Great shot with the worshiping, hands raised, shooting through, handheld. Everything's kind of moving. I love it. Like, there's nothing just static. Like, oh, that was a little tough there. He disappeared into the smoke. Had to go to the drums. Okay, like, this is a big build. It feels a little weird, like we're not... There we go. Could have came to that on the hits. Drums sound great. Yeah, I feel like the wireless ones, like, and you're doing iMag with it? I don't know. Latency-wise. I like the pace of the cuts. You know, maybe it's just church culture. We have not moved to the place yet where we can get away with cameras on stage. Even for our Christmas deal, we opted not to do it. I wanted to kind of try it for the first time, but we just decided it wasn't worth it for us yet. But I don't know. That may be something we explore more in. Hold on, was that dude playing a tenor sax? What's he playing back there? Whatever he's playing, I can't hear it. So. Wait, what is that? What is he playing? Do you see what I'm saying back in the back? I'm interested. Is that like an electric sax maybe? Anyways, hey, props to you on this live stream and the energy it's bringing. I know, look, it's an opener. Like, you're bringing everything with it. You're throwing it all there, and it's great. It's very, very well done. So, thank you for submitting that, Jake. And I hope that I at least had some somewhat helpful thoughts there. Electronic wind instrument. Okay, it's called an Akai Iwi. Okay, interesting. Thanks. Yeah, I agree. It sounded really, really, really good. So thanks for submitting that, Jake. And I'm going to go ahead and delete you. Oh, what did I do? Oh no, I can't get to it. Go away, taskbar. I don't know. I'll come down here and do it on this one. For some reason, my Mac thinks that that's my main monitor now or something. I don't understand. Why is it doing that? Go away. Guys, help me out. How do I get rid of this? I don't know how to work a computer. I came down on my other monitor and tried to move it down to here. Why is it not going away? I shouldn't have done that probably. Huh. Maybe if I go into my display preferences. How do you turn off the taskbar on your external display? Display settings. You guys are no help. Get a Mac, they said. It will be better, they said. I don't know. Extended display. It shouldn't be this hard, right? Move your mouse in your main screen to the bottom and hold it there. Yeah, I was doing that on my normal MacBook. Just screen. Oh, now it did it. I'm not on Ventura, so I guess I'll just have to be careful not to go to the bottom of that screen when I come over here with it. Because that's an HDMI output of my MacBook into the ATEM is how I'm doing that on here. So, thank you, fellas. Let's get to some super chats. I believe our first one came from Elijah with Grace Baptist Church. So we are going to look for Elijah here. We will. Is it this one, Elijah? Yep, there we are. So, Elijah, we've reviewed your stream before. Let's see how things are coming along. They're looking at using iPhones over NDI, kind of like we were talking about, for little close-up shots. And he told us a little bit about his network there. Right now, they've got PTZs, left, center, right. And they've got, this is their big Christmas program, it looks like. So we'll look at the directing of this, a little bit of a different service for them with the 3 PTZs. You guys feel free to chime in and help out as we evaluate Elijah's stream here of Grace Baptist Church Christmas. Okay, let's go to like kind of more the beginning area here. Oh, big choir. Man, that's tough. Full band with the choir. Audio-wise, that is tough unless your drums are completely isolated. So let's turn up and listen. Hold that thought. Yeah, obviously, you know, your top row looks good, exposure on the faces, and then middle, bottom is not. You don't have to correct that with camera though. You should be able to correct that with lighting positions and just evening out your key lighting. Even here, you got, you know, you're exposed good on the back row. Front middles are super overexposed. So that is less of a, I mean, camera dynamic range will help, but like this camera looks a little better because it's more coming from the side, maybe. I don't know. Are those micro booms? I don't mind how live it kind of feels.
We come together
You know, it sounded like a lot of like house stuff with those choir mics is what you end up getting. Let's listen to this one.
this gift given to us, revealing the Father's great love.
Do we have a tight on the soloist? Yeah, we're hanging too long. Also, that's a little weird on the lower thirds to have those ... dots. I don't think that's necessary, especially even on these. Like, are we really wanting people to sing along with these performance type deals? I don't know that we have to have them on there for that. There's a good tight though. Oh, is there autofocus going on there? Looks like maybe with the PTZs. Yeah, adding some of those other cameras like you're talking about with NDI, maybe it might work on your pianist, on your drummer, just to be able to show them more as, because they're off to the side and then you're battling that, like, are they singing with tracks or where's the band? And that would be helpful. I don't know if your PTZs are gen locked and stuff. Adding that NDI may be problematic. Skip to 42 minutes. Exposure should be fixed. Maybe 45. Okay, let's go for it. My camera's in the way. Okay. Oh, a little Spanish. Yeah, that looks better for sure. There we go. Now we're talking, Elijah. Yeah. How are you miking the piano, Elijah? Because I feel like that could use some help. It seems to be your very main instrument, kind of essential. And we always struggled with our grand. The best one that I've heard of out there is the Earthworks system that kind of sits across the whole piano. You know, we had the Help and Still transducer. That sounded like trash in my opinion. Eventually we ended up under miking with, I forget which mic it was. Some Audio-Technica mic. Or maybe we used the Shure Beta 81s. You know, you can do closed lid too, but trying to get to an instrumental. There we go.
Porque de tal manera.
Yeah, so maybe, you know, give that some love. Your drums back in that cage need some love as well on the mix for the stream. When they're caged like that, you should be able to really make them sound great. But it's hard to tell, you know, without seeing them, kind of what you're doing there. And it looks like we're into the message maybe now at that point. So, okay, yeah, talk to whoever's in charge of that stuff. Yeah, Bethel, Earthworks, or DPA miking systems are great for pianos. You know, they're not cheap is the thing. The DPAs are great. They have those like magnetic bases that you can actually sit onto the harp of the piano and even close the lid, I think. And they have, you know, there's an actual miking system. And I've heard great things about those. But the DPAs and the Earthworks are pretty stinking expensive. But if that is like a prized thing in your church, is like this giant grand piano, maybe people would be willing to invest in it and make it sound even better. So that would be something I would look into. So Elijah, thanks for the super chat and thanks for submitting your live stream. You guys are doing well. Looking to add in those new things is in the new year, maybe spice it up a little bit more. So let's move on to Cameron. I hope you're still with us, man. We're going to pull up your stream, see if we can find you here and get you reviewed. Let me go out of that. And hopefully, Cameron, you submitted your name on yours. Let's delete Elijah. What time is it? We've almost gone an hour and we've only done 2 live stream reviews. Actually, we're on our second because I talked for forever. That's all right. There's still quite a few of you with me still. So let's find Cameron. Oh wait, it's Cameron with a K. I can't read if I spelled that right. I don't think I did. Oh, it's because I'm on church's name. There we go. We found you. Technology. Faith Point. 3 camcorders. 2 of them are the XFA11. Another one is a Canon, but I forgot the model. TV Studio for the switcher. Epiphan encoders. Okay. 2, like the Epiphan Pearls? Why would you need 2 of those for YouTube and Facebook? Can't you do both on one? Audio is a post fader bus mix. 1 audience mic. 1 guy running everything. Okay. Wants the most help with the audio mix. So let's pull it up. I'm not sure if this is where you want me to start, but it's fine. We'll start here. Most help on the audio mix, guys. And they're rocking some camcorders. Make sure quality is all the way up. I just was hearing some of that kind of like compressed bitrate sounding audio, it seemed like, but this is high quality. That swirly audio. You hear it? So I don't know what bitrate you're sending out with those Epiphans, but definitely, you know, compare this to like a local recording. If the audio is a lot worse and you're hearing that, you might need to check the bitrate. Do you have a close-up on this pianist when she leads? It looks like she has a mic a lot. It's just always kind of awkward to me whenever like the front leaders, even myself, on instrumentals or somebody else is leading, to like me be the main thing in the shot, and I'm just like, so be thoughtful about that. That's a good shot. It's a little like, I'm not sure where it's tough on those side angles, like knowing like where to level it. I just usually look at the person, and if the person kind of looks like they're tilting one way or the other, then I need to adjust it. And I think they're pretty straight up and down. Try to, you know, move around on these, try to switch cameras a little more frequently, especially as like, okay, there's a build happening. As soon as that build starts, we're going to something else. Oh. The drums need some work as far as EQing and compression and stuff like that. I bet that snare probably sounds great. I mean, those are DWs in there, but they sound like he's playing cardboard boxes to me.
House of the Lord, sing praise. Sing one more time. 'Cause we were the beggars, now we're royalty. We were the prisoners.
Do you have a bass player?
We are forgiven.
Are you running tracks? Like, this is kind of the time when tracks can kind of help. When you're running like acoustic, piano, and drums. There may be a bass player in here somewhere, but like there's no lead player that I'm hearing. Nothing that's adding a little more character and flavor into it. You know, we need the spices.
Accepted, receive by His grace. In the house of the Lord, sing praise. There's
Okay.
joy in the house of the Lord. There's joy in the house of the Lord today, and we won't be quiet. We'll shout out your
I just feel like this is the classic, like the pianist kind of feels like they have to carry the band. So they're filling the whole time. And so there's no space there. That's pretty good, actually.
joy to the
Vocalists have great pitch, though.
Lord.
Sound nice together. Good harmonies.
If we see
Just staying too long on each shot, I feel like. We've been on this shot a while now. So I would encourage you, this one-man band guy in the back that's doing everything. It looks like your church has people in it, and you probably got some youth. I want to encourage you to grab a couple of youth and just throw them into the mix and show them some stuff about how to switch cameras and how to move things around. And man, there may be somebody that would just eat it up, and then that person that is doing everything could focus more on maybe just the audio and really dialing that stuff in. So, because we're just hanging out on this shot. This one looks good. Cameras, as far as your camcorders, like they look pretty good. I don't know if you're doing red and green maybe here to do Christmas. Really stay away from like that straight up green as backlights and front lights, side lights. Like I hardly ever use green in our color mixing stuff because it just ends up making people's skin tones look really bad. And color theory wise, it's like kind of ominous, icky. I don't know. Yeah, just adding some more verb into those vocals. I think you said you had one audience mic, but like people were clapping. I couldn't really hear anything. If you go to a quiet part, maybe.
without hope and without light, so from heaven you came riding. There was mercy in your eyes.
Yeah, check those bit rates. Take those thoughts on the camera stuff. Even like without those green lights, things look better now. But that piano over there could use some. I like the setup though. I was just thinking maybe a close-up shot on one of your camcorders focused on them. There's just no detail shots, nothing close up. Everything's pretty wide and yeah. All right, so hopefully that helps. Cameron, thanks so much for submitting. Appreciate it, man. Let's move on to our next super chat, and that was Noah. Noah, let's find your stream. I believe we've reviewed you before, so I could be dreaming that, but we'll go back and check here. You know what? It doesn't matter. I'm going to be clearing out the cache of these at the first of the year, actually after this is over, so we're going to just not worry about deleting this because I'm going to be deleting all of them soon. Noah, wait. There we are. We're going to start going a little faster through these guys. Unless you give me a bunch of money. All right. Doing the Behringer Wing, post-fader bus, some PTZ optics, R5, R7, nice cameras. Interesting with the PTZ optics cameras, how those will cut. And he wants the most help on the audio mix with the Wing stereo bus mix. Here we go. I like that it's trimmed off.
Good morning. Welcome to New Palestine Bible Church.
Interesting backdrop there with all the panels. Does that mean something? 62. What?
And
Hold on.
this
What do the
week-
green panels mean? Oh, it's a cross. You just made the cross. Okay. I was looking at the reverse image of that. Oh.
May you be prayed.
All right, here we go.
Hopefully you're excited to be here. I'm excited.
That camera
to
looks
worship
great.
along-
Not in love with the Christ be magnified thing on the bottom left. I thought that was like a VHS thing or something at first, where it's showing the copyright.
with you. So if you're able, I'd invite you to stand and join with us now as we do that.
Pretty verby for the talking part there. I'm hearing a lot of audience house mic stuff, it seems like. Great shot there down the line. Love that.
We're creation suddenly articulate.
Is it sibilant to you guys? Is that just my
With
headphones?
1,000 tongues to lift one cry. And then from north to south and east to west, we hear Christ be magnified.
I like it. I can hear people singing along. It's that weird balance of like, I've seen other people talk about side chaining your audience mics to the drums, maybe. That way, when the drums aren't playing, the audience mics can come up a little bit. And then whenever drums come in, it kind of backs everything back down. Because you don't, it's like you want them whenever it's quiet moments to be able to hear people singing, but too much, and then it kind of messes with your mix. Good on the instrumental, go to that.
Were the old earth echoing his imminence, his name would burst from sea.
We're going to go forward to like when some drums and stuff come in, because it looks like you got V drums rocking back there. So I guess that wouldn't really matter on side chaining, because, well, yeah, it could, because of your house speaker. Ooh. Hand drums.
Every creature finds its inmost melody. Every
It's pretty hot, like level-wise.
human heart its native pride. Oh, let it one raptured in your praise. We'll sing Christ.
Yeah, it's like I'm getting the vocal, the lead, a little stereo-ish, too much in my ears, I feel like. And I'm not sure if that's the audience mics or what.
Christ be magnified. Let his praise arise. Christ be magnified in me.
Yeah. So I like the idea, especially like in a chiller kind of band like this, where you're just doing hand drums, a lot of people there sing along, to give it that more live environment. I would definitely back those back a little bit, or somehow play around with automating that level to whenever it's those quieter moments, maybe that comes up a little bit. But
Christ be magnified from the altar of my life. Christ be magnified in me.
Noah, can you tell me which cameras are the R5 and which camera is the R7? And then the PTZ optics, that's got to be one of those R5s. And this looks pretty good too. I'd be surprised if that's a PTZ optic. But there is quite a bit of light on them.
Rejoice 'cause you're there too. I won't be formed by feelings. I hold fast to what is true. If the cross brings transformation, I'll be crucified with you. 'Cause death is just the doorway into
I was right.
resurrection life. I'll join you in your
So that's a PTZ optic right there. Now, is it just me, or is this camera not level? And what's throwing me off is all your squares in the back. If you look at the top right corner of each square, it looks like the left side is lower than the right side. So you might look at that. That's so nitpicky. Sorry. But yeah, the R7 looks great right here. I love that shot on them. Your all static shots. This shot right here, You know, that's classic PTZ up in the air above, everybody kind of pointing across the stage. It's okay. I don't know. It doesn't match. I mean, it matches okay with your other shots. I'm a big fan. I moved our church away from having a center aisle to having chairs in the middle. But then that has its own set of problems. I just like having people in the shot more than the gap in the middle. But at least you're wide enough to where you can see there are people there. Yeah, that's my thoughts, man. Hopefully that helps. Thanks, Noah, for submitting. I appreciate you. Okay. We've had some other super chats come in. So you guys that are part of the email list that know the secret passphrase, we may not get to you. We'll see. So let's see who's next. Gilbert in the house with the $10 super chat. Merry Christmas to me. Well, I mean, YouTube gets 60% of that, but that's okay. He says, been loving these each month when you do them. Submitted our church today for possible review if you have time. Well, my sir, you have moved to the front of the line, so let me go and find yours, and we'll go from there. So I can't do that. Hold on. I'll just have to do it this way. And Gilbert. I might have to refresh, actually, since you submitted today. There we are. Exponential Church. Cool. 3 PTZ cams, vMix Pro Presenter, Light Key, Studio One board, and Studio One 6 for live stream mix. What is Studio One? Like, I'm not super familiar with Studio One. That, I don't know. It's a digital board. Separate computer that controls what camera shots are being sent to vMix. Okay. Couple of stream decks. Okay, so vMix with the PTZ cams is kind of how we're doing things, and then using stream decks to control them. That's what it sounds like. Let's check out Exponential Church.
Just let me go.
That's not, that's the wrong link. I did watch this the other day though, where he's MDing. So maybe I can just find, oh, I bet Exponential Church is definitely like not just you. Is it this one? I doubt it. Oops, that's the other link I sent earlier. Oh yeah, PreSonus, that's who I was thinking of. Okay, so maybe you sent another link. Exponential.church. You know what? If we just do. Good job on getting that domain, by the way. I tried getting .church whenever they first came out. Oh, you went straight up with papyrus there, all caps. Oh, you got Facebook linked, but no YouTube linked. Okay. Church Online. What happens when I go there? Watch live. Join us online. Uh-huh. Yeah. Past messages. Wait. Oh. Cut it down to just a sermon on this guy. Let's go back and see if you added another one, Gilbert. Gilbert, where should I go? Hold on, are you next? No, that's not you. May I guess if I... will there be linked here?
You know, as I was growing up,
It's just the sermon. Is that all you were talking about, Gilbert? You just want me to look at the sermon area? Or is there full service that you want me to look at? Looks like maybe you're the pastor. Okay. Well, that's what I'm going to do for now, because that's all I can find here. So let me know.
today as we continue with part 2 of our series called The Name, I wonder which name in the Christmas story is the one that you most relate to? Is it Mary? Is it
You put the link in the chat. Okay.
Is it the wise men?
Yeah, I don't think it'll let you do links in the chat, but maybe I can see it over here. Yeah, it won't let you put links in the chat. Huh. Where are you located? Harrisburg. We're doing some catfish style investigations. We're going to reverse image Google lookup. On the Facebook page, in the comments, I'll get the full service link. Aha! We did it. World's best cup of coffee. Congratulations. My camera's blocking the countdown. I have no clue how long this is. Okay, there we go. All right.
Go ahead and stand to your feet.
Nice transition there between the opener. So I think immediately I'm noticing vibrations on this camera when the kick happens.
All creation crying.
It's a good looking shot. It's just it needs to be separated from, if it's on a box or a platform, it needs to be on the ground with a tripod somehow or a pole to separate from those sub frequencies. Drums and bass sound good.
The day the word was spoken. Heaven's getting closer now. Behold the newborn King, Emmanuel.
Maybe a little heavy on the drums actually.
From the Holy Spirit,
It's a good looking shot.
to a virgin came the
I like the looking room. I'm not in love with the lower thirds. They're not bad, but I like all caps.
a miracle from Bethlehem.
I like the rim light there with the blue, but his face still looking pretty good white balance wise.
Behold the newborn.
Now between this shot and this shot, I'm seeing some differences in camera, so I'm not sure if they're rocking all the same specs and settings. Yeah, you see the vibrations there.
Lift up your voice and sing, Emmanuel.
Steven Slate plugin. Okay.
Us now, love has come, the hope of the world. Rejoice and sing.
Now on your other singer, you got that rim light coming over onto the front face, and you can see on both your ladies up front now. So I'm not sure where those lights are located, but they are wrapping around a little too much onto people's front of their faces for my taste.
He is with us now, love has come.
On this shot right here, it's not level, and I don't love splitting the screen in half. Either go full wide and show the full stage, or bring that camera angle down a little bit to where your faces are on this upper third of the image. Even me, I'm kind of slinking down, you know, to where their heads are on the upper third. Is there a bass player, or is that just like really good? Is it a track?
Come and let your glory fall. Open up the heavens.
Oh yeah, I see him back there.
The angels sing their song. Behold the newborn King.
So the things I'm missing kind of are like no shots of the drummers or the bass player on these instrumentals. If they're kind of like your energy, then you want to kind of, you know, highlight that during these breaks and stuff.
Lift up your voice and sing, Emmanuel. Our God is with us.
Okay, I like cutting on the beat. That was good.
Has come, the hope of the world. Rejoice and sing, He is with us now. Love has come.
Okay, man, that bass player's getting after it. Come on. I've never heard this song. I like it.
Our God is with us now. Love has come,
Oh wait, that's the electric guitarist.
the hope of the world.
So I kind of even forgot you had an electric guitarist in the audio mix. So what does that say?
Rejoice and sing, He is with us now. Love has come, Emmanuel, Emmanuel.
Okay,
Our God is with us.
good. Going into the close up there on the instrumental. He's kind of in the dark over there, but that's what happens to guitarists.
God of creation.
All right, let's go on to a different part in the service real quick, Gilbert, and just check and see if there's anything else that I want to highlight here. Looks like a female's maybe leading this next one.
Herald angels
Exposure looks pretty good. Skin tones look good.
to the newborn King.
Let's keep going.
Join the tribe
Pretty solid.
in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing. Glory to the newborn
Okay, so there's our drummer. So are you saying that you're using triggers on your drums to then use Steven Slate's plugins to run through the VST, the samples? Or are you doing that like in a broadcast mix? I thought you said it was the PreSonus was doing the mix. So I'm thinking it's happening before it hits broadcast. Because what I'm hearing is like the kick sounds amazing, but the snare, I'm losing something. Listen. Yeah. And that can be the struggle I've had with using triggers, is just really dialing that in. We've tried using it with our SPD-SX and the ghost notes, the things like it just wasn't worth it for us.
born Prince of Peace, hail the Son of Righteousness.
Yeah, so check out those vibrations. There's some thoughts on the audio stuff. I will peek down at the sermon here.
Typical politician here. I already told you he is a
Tiny
very
bit
smart, very
overexposed. I
wise,
like
very
your lower
savvy
thirds. Lower thirds look good, very elevation-esque.
politician. Typical politician. What is he doing? He is lying. Want to kill?
A little bit overexposed on this shot. So this is a little odd to me to go. Basically, a medium shot to this next shot is not that much different,
And they worship him.
and it's on
Now,
a
unfortunately, we
crossfade, I
made the
believe.
word-
So I'm not a fan of that. It needs to be maybe a head to toe on the other one, and then to the tight. I like this framing though. That's a good looking shot right there.
One
I like
or anything
the
else.
looking space. That's good.
All of or anything. I'm just ask a little bit.
The
about
only
music.
other thing that I would
Hey,
say as
those-
far
hey
as your
there,
stream
that-
is I have no context for your church. How big is the room? How many people are in the room? For all I know, this could have been performed and recorded beforehand. I'm a big fan of those establishing opening shots whenever you start a stream or move into a new segment of the service, even the preaching time, to just establish the room so the people that are watching online, if they've never done anything with your church, they kind of have an understanding of what space we're living in during this time. So, all right. Well, thanks for submitting, even though you submitted today and you got in. Thanks for the super chat, Gilbert. I really appreciate it. Cameron, thanks again, man. He says, thanks for the eye-opening tips. This really helps. Well, good. That's what it's all about. You know, I'm not some super guru. I've just been doing it for a long time, and I've learned some things through trial and error, and I'm pretty happy with where ours is at, and I'm just happy to maybe help out as much as I can. So we're moving on to the next super chat here. Bethel Full Gospel with the $2 super chat in the house. So let's go find Bethel Full Gospel. I feel like we've reviewed your stream as well before. I could be wrong on that. They kind of start running together over time, but okay. Church's name. Bethel Worship. Well, let me see if I can help you out, Bethel. Here we go. Maddie? That you? Yep, reviewed back in October. They've done a broadcast mix now with separate audio. And so that's been a change since the last one. So we can kind of listen to that and see how that's changed things. They've got their details there for different mics, main stage, Ableton, clicks and tracks. Those are UX 180s for the camcorders, GoPros, using Resi. They've incorporated a second console with waves. All right, cool. Well, let's pull up the live stream here. We shall give her a listen.
Good morning, Bethel. Stand up to your feet.
I thought that said Pastor Stephen Furtick for a second. Oh, love the beams. What lights are those? Those look good.
Put your hands together. Rejoice in you today. Sing with me. Your word is a lamp unto my feet, and your way is the only way for me. It's a narrow road that leads to life, but I wanna be on it. See, it's a narrow
Sounds really
road,
good. I like the liveness of the vocal, but the clarity still. The nice verb.
You're good on your promise. Sing it out. I'll take you at your word. If you said it, I'll believe it. I've seen how good it.
All right, so this is a good example of where I like the drums to kind of sit in the mix. The toms are there. They're still hearing the punch of the snare, the kick, but they're not too out front. And so I like where these are sitting. I like the tone of them. The vocals sitting on top nicely, but not too out front.
If you start it, you'll complete it. I'll take you at your word.
So am I crazy, or is the latency... Have you noticed Waves introducing latency?
How good it works. If you start it, you'll
Oh no, that's ahead of the video.
complete it. I'll take you at your and the chaos fell in line. I know, 'cause I've seen it in my life. It's a narrow road that leads to life, but I wanna be on it. It's a narrow road, the tide is high, but you parted the water. Come on, I take you at your word. If you said it, I believe it. I've seen how good it works.
I'm gonna find something to tell you to work on. Yeah, I just feel like it's not in sync. And like I always say, remember the output of my computer going into the ATEM is now delayed 2 frames. It's just the way I have to do it. And so there will be 2 frames delay, but this seems like it's more out of sync than that. Are you guys using, like, what Waves plugins are you using with that other Waves program?
You said your love will never give up. You said your grace is always enough. You said your heart would never forget or forsake me. You said I'm saved. You call me yours. You said my
No tuning, like vocal tuning? Good, because yeah, I didn't think I heard any tuning. Because I mean, it sounds good. I just honestly, the vocal tuning thing, even the big churches that I'm hearing doing it, I don't like it. Like it sounds unnatural. Like you're hearing a little bit too much of the tuning, I feel like. And like if you listen to church fronts, even their examples and stuff, like I don't like it. It doesn't sound, it sounds too much correction, warble. I even threw some tuning on some stuff that we were doing at our Christmas deal in post. And I just sometimes, and maybe it depends on the vocalist too. If they have a lot of vibrato, I feel like that kind of messes with it too. Even doing like specific keys with specific scales and all those things. I don't know.
You said your grace is always enough. You said your heart would never forget or forsake me. Yeah. You said I'm saved. You call me yours. You said my future's full of your hope. You never failed, so I know that you'll never fail me. I take you at your word. If you said it, we gotta believe in him today. 'Cause I've seen how good it was.
Yeah, your band sounds great, man. Great mix. I think you could go to the next level with your stream from, moving from the push and pull out camcorder style to more in the mix handheld type stuff. There's so much energy going on stage, and I feel like that's not being completely translated through the style of the live stream. So yeah, check out Chad Vegas, and he's got a lot of tips on how to kind of move into that style of live stream. But thank you for the super chat, and thanks for submitting. And we're going to go on to our next super chat, and that is from Alex. Thank you, Alex, for submitting and for the super chat. We're going to go find your live stream now. And so let me pull that up real quick. Alex, are you still there in the chat? Let us know. I'm going to pull yours up over here. There you are. All right, Kingsway Church. We have 5 Blackmagic Pocket 6Ks. Nice. 1 on a tripod, 1 on a slider, 1 on a Ronin, 2 handheld. You got a lot of good stuff going on there. And then you got a 2ME, 4K. Audio's mixed over Dante in Studio One, sent back to Resi. So a lot of things that people dream of with their setups. So let's look at their directing, shot composition, and see if we can give them any help. You got the gear, you know, so you're set up nicely there. Is that really hot? Whew. Wow. Was that really loud? Like,
Good morning, Kingsway. Please stand and worship with us this morning.
I like
Give
that
thanks to the
transition.
Lord. Give thanks to the Lord. His love endures forever.
Nice Ronin.
Give praise to the Lord. Beside him, there's no other.
The keys are like a little spacey sounding to me. Almost like they're in stereo and that they're phase canceling each other out.
Give thanks to the Lord. His love endures forever.
I like it. Oh yeah.
Give praise to the Lord.
The framing on him I feel like is off a little bit. Like he's on that left third, but I feel like he should be on the right third.
Beside him, there's no other.
Maybe not though with the headstock. I don't know.
This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it.
Vocals sound pretty good.
This is the day the Lord has made.
I like that shot.
Oh, I will rejoice
There you go.
and be glad in it. He brought us from morning
That was a great shot.
to dancing.
I would tighten up your line spacing there on your lower thirds. I think there's too much line spacing there.
From glory to glory. This is the day the Lord has made. So what are we waiting for?
Oh, you got to transition on that big hit. A lot of close-up guitar shots, which I think look amazing. It might be getting a little overused.
Come on and praise the Lord. Hear the word of the Lord.
Drums sound great.
Freedom for the
Can you tell us more about your drum mix in the comments? Just basic, like, are you doing any sound replacement, anything like that?
captives. Good news to the poor and beauty for the ashes. So what are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? Hey! This is the day the Lord has made.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I will rejoice and be glad in it.
One thing that I've noticed that I want to point out to you other guys, they've got all these cameramen on stage, but I've not seen them in any other shots yet. Oh, man, darn, the wireless is going in and out on you. And maybe it's because they're just hiding better. I would think I would see them in that Ronin shot. But samples, all the samples.
I live to tell what the Lord has done.
What samples are you using?
I live to see
how are you sampling? Are you using triggers, like rolling triggers on them? Is it just using sound replacement trigger, like drum trigger stuff in software? Is it just the broadcast that's getting the sampled sounds, or is it the house mix that's getting sample sounds? So many questions. All right, that sounds great. Now I'm curious though. If let's go back. Let's go back 8 months ago. Different snare sample. That one still sounds great though too. But yeah, I can tell you've polished it a little bit for sure. I like the verbs and stuff on the new one. Space that's in there. I just thought I heard some weird stereo stuff with the piano. So, all right. Alex, thanks for submitting, man. We are going to move on. Do not super chat anymore unless you just want to say thank you and Merry Christmas to me. I have time for 2 more live stream reviews until I have to get on this other call. So we're going to zip through these. This next one is from Doug, and the last one is from Tanklahane. I don't know how to say your name. So let's find Doug. But you can still super chat if you want. Just know that I can't do any more than these last 2. We're going to go with the most recent one. See, that's the problem. Like, I bet Doug submitted a long time ago. PTZ Optics cameras, 30X, Pro 7, OBS, Restream. No separate mix. What's the most help with directing?
River of Life Church. We connect people with God and one.
And see everybody from across.
Opening prayer. Here we go. PTZ Optics. Volume's all the way up. I like the lower thirds look good. I like it. It feels a little live when the vocal. It's good. I probably wouldn't do crossfades on songs. The snare's real poppy. Not my favorite. I wish it was a little deeper. Vocals sound really nice. Are you running any tracks or anything? Sorry, Ghost Gaming. You got those drums in that room, and I still feel like they're pretty far back in the mix. I like the close-ups on the bass. Could use one on the keys though as well. Here we go. Yeah, I probably wouldn't do cross fades. I mean, I like the pacing that you got going. You've only got these few cameras and you're making it work. Skin tones look pretty good. I like the different close-ups you got going on. For the PTZ optics, you're making it work. It's not my favorite look. It's, it looks very PTZ-ish, if you know what I mean. But for what you got going on, you're making it work. No, I wish there was at least like one wide shot every like few minutes to show the room, that establishing shot. Everything's really, really tight or medium tight. This one right here feels like maybe there's not enough headroom, and those are hard whenever they're like angled like that. I don't know, it's weird. There you go. There's a good one, tight one of the pianist that you went to. It's pretty sweet. It's a good looking shot right there on your male worship leader. Oh. Slow fade into the cross. Nothing wrong with that. Now that's a crossfade that can kind of work. Okay, yeah. This shot's my least favorite. Let's look at preaching.
The armies of heaven.
Yeah, we're on this one a lot while he's preaching too. That's a better one.
Right now,
looks
in the
good for
hearts
preaching.
of the lives of your children, by the way you live, what you say, and what you instill with them.
Yeah. All right, Doug. Hopefully those thoughts helped you out. Let's go to our last super chat of the day. Yeah, I kind of like this shot right here. This Sigma 18 to 35 right here. I don't know, my computer's like pretty big in there we go. That's a little better. But yeah, I've enjoyed this live stream. Let's do one more, and then I got to go. So let's find. He said it's under. Uh-oh. Let me find where he said it's. Trigger 2. All right, that's good to know. I can't find. He said what the church is under. I got to find that comment so I can actually find it. I got to go stop the auto updating one. Here we go. Wakarusa Missionary Church. Let's find it. But yeah, I'm liking this little. I usually have the other angle off to the side, but it makes more sense probably just to have a wide right here and a close. Question. Church's name. Waka. That's not right. There we go. I'm going to go to your latest one here. Okay. They have 3 PTX PT30 NDIs, Midas M32, Roland mixer for the video switching. Okay. Yeah, that helps. What do you want them to stop on? Audio mix. You guys help me out in the comments with this final audio mix for this live stream. Let's listen and see what we think. Hopefully this is where you wanted me to start.
We didn't see it coming. The story of redemption. What started in a manger.
Everything's like real boxy sounding and like very like low mid heavy for some reason. Almost the clarity's not there.
It ended in an empty grave. Oh, I know that hope has a name. Emmanuel, the light of the world.
Pretty vocal heavy in the live stream mix. The drums, from what I can hear, have a little more clarity to them. What would be causing that? Unless, this can happen if you're having to EQ things for your house sound to sound good, and then it affects your broadcast mix if you're having to do too much to fix things in the room.
Who broke through the darkness? All hail the King, Emmanuel, the light of the world, the glory of heaven. So come if you're broken, and come if you're searching.
I mean, this is a time where if it does sound really good in the house, EQ'd like this, then you may need to move to a separate, you know, mixing in the box kind of thing
If you need healing,
to have more control.
He's where you'll find it. So lay down your burdens and breathe in forgiveness.
Yeah, I
If
agree.
you need freedom, yeah, He's where you'll find it. Oh, if you need freedom, yeah, He's where you'll find it.
I mean, the band sounds like they're
Yeah,
good.
He's where you find it. Oh, sing it out. Hope has a name, Emmanuel.
I like that you got the hope there as they're talking about hope has a name. Yeah, that's cool. Band sounds good. I mean, it's just, yeah, there's some things you need to tweak there on the audio to bring things back down to a good starting place so you can actually have a more solid mix. Camera wise, things are looking a little magenta-ish to me. The drummer is kind of in the dark back there and it makes it hard to get a shot of him. So maybe add some light onto him. There's that wide establishing shot. That's good. Yeah, that's my thoughts. Guys, thanks so much for tuning into the live stream today. We went almost a solid 2 hours, and I hope that you do appreciate, you know, me doing these little reviews. I know I can't get to all of them, but here's the deal. If you really do want to just have a one-on-one with me, I have that ability to be able to do that, and that if you go to that link in the description, I do one-on-one Zoom consultations with people, and we can dive in deep into your live stream, and you can ask questions. It's, yeah, that's part of the hard part of doing this, is just it's in the chat and then it's delayed and, you know, things like that. So I think that camera just died. Yes, it did. See, that GH4 lasted 2 hours on the battery though. That's not bad. So that's a good signal that we're done. Oh man. All right. Well, remember, guys, we can do a lot of great things. Let's do it all for God's glory. I hope that you have a great Christmas season as we end it out the right way, and got some other good videos for you in the works. Merry Christmas.